Anthony Perkins is remembered by most of us as the famous Norman Bates, most known for his grisly role in the film Psycho. However, this reserved and dashing actor also held undiscovered abilities, an ambitious vision, and most startlingly, a contentious personal life. Although Perkins kept his secrets to himself, we are here to celebrate the vast contrasts that characterised his life. Being a homosexual man in the closet is not easy. During the Eisenhower Leave It to Beaver period of normalcy, it was especially challenging. Anthony Perkins unfortunately reached the legal drinking age at that time. The acclaimed dramatist with a Harvard degree and his lesbian wife Janet had a son named Perkins. When Susan and God were on a pre-Broadway tour when Perkins's father fell and passed away, Tony, who was 5 years old at the time, was moved about by his mother, who ultimately started seeing a woman. Even in macho boarding schools, which he unsurprisingly detested, Tony performed in plays because acting was in his blood. He narrowly avoided a homosexual scandal while majoring in theatre arts at Rollins College. His budding reputation as a romantic leading man was completely wrecked by his performance as Norman Bates in Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. His acting established a new standard for cinema history by portraying an image that mirrored an equally clandestine and tormented off-screen existence. His ongoing battle with his sexual orientation led to an imploring desire for acceptance. His attempts to reinvent himself as a traditional family guy were dashed when he passed away from AIDS. Anthony made an effort in the 1950s to avoid being seen in public with his romantic interest. He even saw a psychiatrist who insisted that he might be cured of his homosexuality. He was hailed as the new James Dean, but his studio discovered that fans and gossip publications were questioning his sexual orientation. The head of the studio believed Perkins was flaunting his relationship with Tab Hunter, another teen idol. He was cast opposite Sophia Loren and Jane Fonda in the dramatic Potboilers to heterosexualize his image. The strategy failed, preventing him from finding leads. Most likely Hitchcock was aware that Perkins' orientation and involvement with Hunter. Hunter claimed that he first met Perkins in 1956 and that, with a little assistance from Paramount, which was aiming to butch up Perkins' image, the relationship lasted for years before coming to an end in 1959. Despite some career-related gamesmanship by Perkins, Hunter later referred to it as a fantastic time in my life. Their romance persisted for a few more years despite this interruption. Perkins was a known homosexual who was not out, which was probably a factor in his casting. Perkins' sexuality must have been known to Hitchcock, who must have mistakenly thought it would help convey Bates's somewhat effeminate demeanour and ambiguous sexuality. Perkins said that Bates' sexual orientation was purposely portrayed as either homosexual or bisexual. Perkins was able to express himself through acting, even though he was unable to do so in real life. Click here to watch this video next.